All right, let's get right into it. Today we're talking about a true tech showdown. In one corner, you've got the undisputed king of search, the titan of information, Google. And in the other corner, the revolutionary AI challenger, the conversationalist that has completely changed the game, ChatGPT. We're here to break down this ultimate battle for learning.
For decades, whenever we had a question, the answer was always the same. Just Google it. It's our front door to pretty much all the world's information. But now, a totally new kind of contender has stepped into the ring. ChatGPT doesn't just throw a bunch of links at you. It gives you answers. It gives you explanations. It actually has a conversation with you. And that right there is a huge clash of styles.
So this brings us to the million-dollar question, right? When you really need to learn something, when you're doing research for school or for work, which one of these giants is actually the better tool? Well, today, we're not just going to guess. We're actually going to look at the research and find out.
So first up, let's check out the tail of the tape. To really understand this competition, we first have to understand the competitors themselves. What are their core strengths? What are their weaknesses? And how are they just, fundamentally different? Here's a perfect way to think about it. Think of Google as this enormous, sprawling digital library. It gives you access to practically everything, but you have to walk down the aisles, pull the books off the shelf, and find the information yourself. ChatGPT, on the other hand, it's more like having a personal tutor. It engages you in a conversation, it adapts to your questions, and it gives you these explanations that are tailored just for you. Two very, very different ways to learn.
So how in the world did researchers even begin to judge this contest? Let's go behind the scenes of the actual study that put these two platforms head-to-head.
For this, a group of researchers went out and surveyed 153 university students in the UAE, and they wanted to understand not just which tool they liked more, but why. The whole point was to uncover those hidden factors, the things that really drive our decisions when we choose one over the other. So who exactly was in this study? Well, the group was predominantly female, about 79%, and mostly young adults between the ages of 18 and 29. And it's really important to keep this context in mind because these results give us a powerful snapshot into the habits of young university students, and particularly women.
Now, to get to the bottom of this, the researchers didn't just ask, hey, which one do you like better? No, they used a really specific set of criteria to figure out what really makes a learning tool a winner in our eyes. So let's break them down really quick.
Okay, first up is information quality. This one is pretty straightforward. Basically, does the tool give you the good stuff? Is the information correct? Is it actually relevant to what you asked? And most importantly, does it help you get your task done? Next, we have system quality. This is all about the tech itself, the nuts and bolts. Is the website stable, or does it crash all the time? Is it easy to use, or is it super clunky? Essentially, does the machine just work the way it's supposed to without giving you a headache?
And here's where it starts to get a little more personal. Perceived satisfaction. This is basically the vibe check. Beyond just getting the job done, how does using the tool actually make you feel? Are you happy? Frustrated? This is all about our emotional response to the tech.
And finally, we have task technology fit. This is that classic right tool for the right job question. If you have to, say, write a complex research paper, does this piece of technology actually fit that task well? How perfectly does the tool's function match what you need to do? All right, so we've met the contenders, we know the judging criteria, now it's time for the main event. What did this study actually find? And let me tell you, the results might not be exactly what you'd expect. Okay, first finding. And honestly, this one makes perfect sense. Information quality is a huge deal. The study totally confirmed that if students thought a tool's information was accurate and relevant, they were way more likely to use it. It's that old saying, garbage in, garbage out. We all know it, and we will ditch a tool that gives us bad info. And it turns out our feelings matter a lot. The study found this really powerful direct link between how satisfied a student felt while using a tool and whether they planned on using it again. Having a good experience wasn't just a nice bonus, it was a massive reason they'd come back. So, great information and a good feeling are key. Got it. But what about those other, more objective, more technical factors we talked about? Well, this is where the verdict gets really, really interesting. And here's the first twist. System quality, so how well the tech actually works, was not a direct predictor of whether students would use a platform. Now, that doesn't mean a broken tool is okay, but what it suggests is that even a perfectly functioning, super reliable system isn't enough to win people over if the information or the experience just isn't there. And bam, here's the second big surprise. Task technology fit, being the so-called best tool for the job,
that also did not directly predict use. So a tool could be, on paper, perfectly designed for a school assignment, but that alone wasn't enough to guarantee that students would actually choose to use it.
So, what in the world does all of this mean? Well, the verdict seems pretty clear. When we choose our learning tools, our decision-making is a lot more human than we probably think. It's about way more than just checking off boxes on a technical list. So, to wrap this all up, here are the big takeaways. First, we care more about quality content than we do about flawless functionality. Second, feeling satisfied isn't just a nice little bonus feature, it's a core reason we adopt a new tool. And finally, all of this points to one big idea. The human element wins. Our choice in tech is deeply tied to our experience and our feelings, not just some logical calculation of what's best.
You know, the researchers themselves put it perfectly. They said that tools like ChatGPT aren't just technical devices anymore. They're these complex, integrated platforms that are fundamentally changing how we deal with information. And because of that, studying their impact isn't just interesting, it's absolutely crucial.
And this all leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about for the future. As these AI tools get exponentially smarter and more capable, will this human factor, this need to feel satisfied, to have a good experience, will it continue to be the thing that makes or breaks a product? Will how a tool makes us feel always be more important than what it can technically do? It's definitely something to chew on as this tech showdown keeps evolving.